Welcome to After the Final Bell, a podcast about what happens when an adrenaline-fueled career comes to an end and real life begins. Hosted by UFC striking coach Mike Gonzalez and YouTube bounty hunter Trevor O'Connor.
It's not just about fights anymore. It's about what happens when the gloves come off.
And the real adventure begins.
Join Mike and Trevor as they chat about the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Life after the final bell isn't always easy, but it's always interesting. This is After the Final Bell.
Would you stay the night in the mausoleum?
No.
No?
No.
Too many opportunities?
There's just too much going on.
It seems like right now there's a huge battle between how things used to be and how they are now.
Well, I always feel quality-wise, yes, it was better.
And when
But that's where we forget, like, nobody wants... We're just trained to find what's the best deal.
Right.
Right. Well,
Name one thing you have that's just, like, high quality.
Man, I would have to think about it. There was a place where it was muddy, so I carried her uphill, and she was breathing hard. She was on my back, and she was breathing hard. And I said, "Why are you breathing hard?" So they're used to seeing, I think, interracial couples.
Black and white.
Yeah, I don't think they're used to seeing a Mexican and a white.
Click the join button now to become a member and gain access to all the behind-the-scenes footage. Join us weekly for our members-only live podcast, but only when you click that join button.
And it's hard to find, man.
Or just peel your life back to something that actually makes you happy.
But why is it that...
And just be happy with it.
Do you feel like people are afraid of the change they'll have to face if they really like... What's up, guys? I'm Mike Gonzalez.
And I'm Trevor O'Connor.
This is After the Final Bell, a podcast about life after an adrenaline-fueled career has come to an end. And real life begins.
And they have come to an end.
Yeah, for me.
For me, too.
Yeah.
For me, too. And I watched a bunch of, fight videos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Over the weekend, there were a bunch of different fights, mostly local stuff that I was watching.
Scrolling or what?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, they put up videos. And people, I'll say it probably every week until the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
Baby shit soft.
Yeah.
Their personality, their mental fortitude,
Mm-hmm.
and their, the fight ability. It's just not, there's lightning rods that are just these amazing fighters that really get it and can do it.
Mm-hmm.
90% of what you watch, back in the day, no one would have let them.
No.
They'd be like, no.
Nope.
No, you're not there yet.
But it's too easy. No.
Well, now all the fighters they're just negotiating fights for themselves and then telling their coach they have a fight.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Which, part of the reason you have a coaching staff or your team is to have conversations like that and say, "Hey guys, I was thinking about looking for a fight. I feel pretty
What do you think?"
And then if your coach says no, then fire him. And then just go find a coach that'll say yes.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
fire. Just fire.
Just grab one of your buddies.
Or just have somebody, just take a fight out of state and have somebody there when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't bring anybody. You corner me? Got it.
I've done that. I quit doing that.
I've cornered guys out here.
I've quit doing that.
Showed up with nobody, and you're like, you just feel like, I can't just let this go.
You feel bad, but after a while, you don't feel bad.
Yeah. If you show up without a corner, then
I can't do that. And the promotion shouldn't even put you on.
Well, they're probably not going to listen to you anyway.
No. What am I doing?
Unless they got cool T-shirts, I'm not interested.
Yeah, you should just have your girlfriend carry the bucket and the water bottle.
Just Mike Perry that bitch.
Yeah, might as well.
He ain't listening anyway.
He ain't listening either.
Yeah. But you, on the other hand, you had a much better fight weekend.
Yeah. We drove out to Iowa, which it was cool.
How was the road trip for one?
Yeah, and it was good. It was a good road trip. It's good when you have good company because it's the Midwest is boring to drive through. You know, there's
it's
you know,
it's wheat field, cornfield,
so
wheat field, cornfield.
It was good.
Did you guys go 80?
Yep, 76 to 80, and then just 80
Straight
all
across.
the way there.
Yeah.
And then we kind of took our time getting there, so we stopped for food, and then so we ended up taking like an extra hour and a half or 2 hours just
because you didn't have to.
No, we didn't have to. And then we got there, and then Saturday morning we went and ate breakfast at this cool spot. It was actually pretty cool. And then
like a cafe or.
Yeah, it was a cafe, but the way they had it like designed and stuff, it was actually pretty cool.
How's Des Moines? Is Des Moines big? Like a big, like Greeley big? Not Denver big.
No, it's I would say more Greeley, but it may be bigger than Greeley, but it's got that vibe.
So like college town, like Division I college town size.
Yeah, and then we went to this. They had this like history part. I found it. We were looking for something to do.
If there was history, you were going to find it.
Yeah, we went. I was like, JJ's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, we can do whatever. She's like, find us something. I said, all right. So I started looking up like any kind of like, do they have any kind of historic like spots or whatever? And then this place popped up. I'll send Camila a picture.
Was it when you guys were on the wagon?
Yeah, and what they did was in some of those, like they rebuilt some of them. But some of them they transported and they moved like old homesteads and old spots there.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty cool. So we got to go through there. It was a fun time.
So they condensed all the stuff into an area that you could see it all.
Well, yeah, but the way that they had it set up, it was we had to we paid to get in, and they had this like old like ghost town, and it had like a little bank, and then it had like a few spots down.
Saloon.
They had a
salon or a saloon, and then
they had a doctor spot, and then you went down into the tractor ride, and they took you like I don't know, probably quarter mile, half mile, and it started in like when they first settled, like it was the Native Americans, so they had a bunch of stuff there, and then you walked, and then into like the next era of settlers, like I think it was the Europeans.
Oh, so it was,
and they had home
chronological.
They had a little bit of homesteads and stuff, and then they went into an actual working farm that they have.
Did you have to work?
No, I was going to try to, but it was actually pretty cool.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's kind
of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
You know what it just reminded me of real quick, because you said they moved some stuff around and relocated some homestead pieces.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we went to the cliff dwellings?
Yeah.
And we went all the way through them and we were loving it. It was the coolest thing. And then we read the literature on the way out, and they just moved and built them there because it was more convenient for tourists to come there than to where it actually came from.
I asked.
That was such a letdown, that part.
I asked, I said, are these actual like places real? You guys found? And where we were at in the first part, he says, these ones aren't. These are from what from the records that they have, he's like, they're built to spec and they're built to, okay.
So they're built for the time period.
Yeah. So, but then when you got down to the other parts, they had little things saying this belonged to.
This was an actual.
And that was where the little town was and stuff like that.
That's a cool part. I wish I didn't read that part at the cliff dwellings.
I know.
That was because we really had a good time.
Like it was.
We were so happy to be there.
It was like,
all of us. And then at the end we were like, what?
Yeah. They don't let people go on those cliff downs in Alamos anymore, huh? They used to let you go up there. They used to let you climb up there, but I think because of like probably wear and tear, they're just.
And falls.
Falls, yeah, probably.
Falls is probably. Because those were like on cliffs.
Yeah. Well, they have, there's a guy on YouTube actually that I watch. I come across his video. I didn't subscribe. I should probably, because I watch him all the time.
Gotta hit that subscribe button.
But I think he lives in Arizona, and he'll just like go in the desert and start walking. And he's came across old cliff dwellings, and other stuff. It's actually pretty cool.
He just walks around in the desert?
Yeah, he'll have like a little spot, like I'm gonna go on a hike, this whatever, and he'll walk through and
So like a one day.
yeah. I'm sure. I think he's done maybe a couple like overnights, but for the most part, like 1 day things where he just drives somewhere, parks and hikes and walks and yeah.
You know what's kind of weird? I would be more apprehensive about an overnight in the desert
Why?
than an overnight in the mountains.
Why?
I just think there's stuff in the desert that just means to kill you.
There's weird. Like the mountains is.
I mean, the mountains have bears, mountain lions.
It's not. But I know what you're saying because it's not the same.
Gray wolves.
Like you're not. It's not something you're not afraid in the desert. You're not afraid of the animal. Like there's no like, oh, a coyote's gonna get me.
Right.
No, probably not.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Until dark.
But yeah.
But at dark, the desert is built to, and it's got snakes.
That's
a lot of them.
It's not even the snakes.
There's
something.
No. The snakes.
There's something eerie that.
But there's scorpions.
Yeah, that's. Have you ever seen that document? They have a series. I think it's on Hulu or Paramount. But it's like only filmed of the wild stuff at night, and they have like the infrared cameras and shit that wakes up like
rabbits just eating people.
Yeah, probably. I guess.
Desert's weird to me.
It is weird.
Like I like it,
but it's weird. There's
but
something weird.
As soon as it starts to get nighttime, I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to be here.
I would like. I wouldn't
in
want
an RV.
I wouldn't want to. But if you got to walk somewhere at night in the mountains, it's like okay, we'll be all right. But in the desert, I find it very eerie.
Yeah, my ears are
ringing.
Yeah, real loud. I was making sure it was me and not.
Oh,
I mean, I've wandered all over the mountains, not thinking twice about it. There's a point when I was young, like middle school. My mom dated a guy briefly who liked kids. So I was allowed to come.
The way you say that, whoa.
I was allowed to come for that one. But he lived in Cold Creek Canyon.
Oh.
And so for a very brief time, I was up there and we just
hung out.
We just wandered.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning and
nobody even.
I don't know how I didn't die or get lost because I was not a mountain kid growing up.
Yeah. And you didn't follow the rules?
Dude, there's a mountain right across from us.
Uh-huh.
And I saw a little trail. So I got on this trail and just started walking up this mountain. And then the trail disappeared. So I just kept walking, came over the top of that, came into a meadow, saw all this stuff, turned around. I was like, man, where did I come into here?
Oh, damn.
Yeah. They would have never found me.
No,
I didn't tell anybody where I was going.
Shit. You're lucky you didn't get lost.
It was the weirdest thing, too, because I came up over the top of the mountain.
Uh-huh.
And I was walking kind of on this little ridge line, not above tree line, not a huge mountain by any means. And I just came around and all of a sudden it opened into this huge meadow. And I thought, oh, this is cool. I'm going to go check this out. And I ran around in there and looked at cool stuff. And then when I turned back around, it looked the same. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
And I just got lucky.
You're lucky.
I got lucky and picked the side that ended up coming down to the road near my house.
You're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have been dead.
Speaking of that, did you see that video on TikTok? Or on my story, the guy that was shooting at the polar bear or whatever, and then dropped the gun and took off.
So he was in Alaska.
Yeah,
and he rode up on his snowmobile, obviously to go to the store or something, whatever. Walked into the store with his rifle. Yeah, comes walking out, and there's a polar bear, and the polar bear starts shit. He takes a couple shots. Polar bear don't give a shit.
And he ran.
He's like,
I mean, would you just drop the gun and say, yeah, he's.
Man, I would hope to not lose my gun.
Me too.
But if I'm going to lose something, it's gun over life.
The way he took off on that.
He didn't have a bunch of steps to spare.
No.
So trying to secure the rifle would have probably cost him.
Yeah, it was that was the few steps.
Yeah. That's all he had.
That's crazy.
That's hilarious. I want to go to Alaska
to see that.
Just to see dumb shit like.
No, when I went,
because I want to just be like,
man, it's some of the, like the worst. The other thing that's worse than the desert is Alaska, and that's when we went. When I went
Because you'll freeze to death.
Well, yeah, but it's just we went so you can see the northern lights at certain times, and they give possibilities, whatever. So when I was there the last time, or the time before the last time, they rented the promoter's dope rents an Airbnb for us. And this one was kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it was cool, but it was clear skies, and it was like 11:30 at night, and they're like, "Hey, it's gonna be peak time," so they're like, "Let's go." So one of the guys there had had a rental, and we get in this car, and then we're driving, nope, nothing, and then we ended up. He's like, "Let's go this way," so we went like I don't know north, I think it was, and started circling around, and then we got in the middle of these trees, right, and they were huge, and then it opens up, and it's just like you could just see like flat, right? Just like damn. And we got out, and it just started the lights. It was actually it was.
Was it like tundra? You came out of the forest?
Yeah, and then you just seen because the moon was out, so you could see really with the snow. And I was like, that's scary because they will not find you.
No, the problem with places like Alaska is they're so desolate that if you took off, like if you wandered, a little bit off the trail and got yourself turned around, no one would have any idea where. And especially if it's winter and the wind goes and your tracks are gone.
Well, we were driving, and then we stopped because the northern lights started going. So we like idiots. Yeah, we just stopped in the middle of the road, and we're like looking. It was cool, and like these two kids, they were teenagers. They must have been dating or something, but they stopped. They're like, "You guys all right? You need help?" Like because. Who's gonna like? There's no way to get to help. There's no phone service.
If your car's broken down, if anybody stopped on the road there and you drive by, you almost have a duty to say,
they're not.
Yeah,
that was I was like, damn, you don't want to get lost.
That's a scary one.
Yeah,
that's a scary.
It's cool though. And then you see moose running through town. Yeah,
and no one understands the size of a moose.
I mean.
Like elk, we have elk here. Elk are big.
Yeah.
That's a big ant.
Yeah.
People do not understand the size of a moose.
Yeah. It's massive.
A fully grown moose standing, his head would look over like a Tahoe.
Yeah. Those are massive. We were driving to breakfast, and there's one just cruising down the road.
Yeah.
And I was like,
get out of his way.
It was big. Yeah.
See, I would be in trouble. If I was in Alaska, I would be in trouble.
Why?
Because I would end up in stupid places.
Oh.
And I'd be like, this ain't like home.
Yeah, I'm okay going back. I don't need to go back there. I seen the northern lights. I'm good.
I want to go. I want to go to Alaska pretty bad.
You should. I think it's a trip everybody should do.
I'd like to go on a cruise to Alaska so you can see like the glaciers and everything. But I might rather just go.
Well, they have.
I could boat trip it.
Yeah, you could.
I could fly into Anchorage, get on a boat, and see the glaciers. I don't have to be on a cruise the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to do that because I was gonna do something because I told JJ that because of the fights they were taking up there were just dumb, like ridiculous, fighting guys that never have fought before. Just they were, and at certain times it's like, okay, we've done one or two of those, we're good. We don't
need to go.
Yeah, so I knew that the last time I was gonna go was probably going to be the last time, like for a fight that I was gonna go. So I was like, I'm gonna do something, man. Everything was sold out, like
all the activities,
like going to see the glaciers or go like I was like, damn.
I also don't want to be let down either. Because I have built up, like when people show video of like they're on a boat and they go into like this little bay and then there's the glacier and then like a little piece will crumble off and into the water and it's all.
Well, you're probably like, I feel like that's a once in a lifetime thing. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to get.
But I just like that vision of how crisp it looks.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it would be like every tourist place that I ever went and we'd pull up and it would just be like, just dirty snow.
Yeah.
And grouchy people and
people are different. They
ever since we were talking about the Old West and we were talking about Tombstone, my TikTok
crazy listening to you
is it's like this one guy and I probably should follow him because I've seen 700 of his videos now.
Yeah.
But it's just a guy that does a voiceover of footage in Tombstone, and he's like, "This is the chair where Curly Bill was seen right before he got in the shootout." And this is the, it's like he goes through the whole thing. And they showed Tombstone, and I'm assuming it's fairly recent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they put it back together halfway decent.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah.
Hmm.
But the cemetery there, they won't. It's not even listed on the historical sites for the state.
Why?
Because they're saying the integrity of the cemetery is so bad. Like, things have been stolen, people have been moved, that the historical society won't put their stamp on it.
Really?
Yeah. Boot Hill, right? Boot Hill Cemetery.
Yeah. Why would you?
I saw a thing also on Deadwood where, because they used to just have the wooden crosses and they just have the name on the, people were stealing them for souvenirs.
Oh, no.
If I saw someone doing that,
stop. You're ruining everything for everybody.
I'm going to bust your ass.
Yeah.
In front of your wife.
Like, why do they want that? And you know what's crazy is, like, you only know you got it from there, but who can trust that I got this cross from.
Right. Who are you going to show?
Like, who are you going to show, like, verification
and if you show someone, hopefully they have enough scruples to go, "You're an idiot," and smack you in the mouth and make you drive it back up there and apologize. I don't know. It's
the coolest cemetery I've been to. There was 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
One was in New Zealand, and that was, man, it was in the middle of the city, but it was cool. And then there was one in the south that we went to, and it was pretty cool.
Like a Civil War cemetery.
Yeah, Civil War. It had a couple of people that signed the Declaration of Independence, like all kinds of, like, it was pretty cool. Actually, it was actually pretty cool.
The coolest cemetery, and it's not. When I say coolest, I mean like most like inspiring thing in a cemetery. When Kay Miller's dad passed, he was a veteran, so he has a plot at the big military cemetery here.
Yeah. Oh, Fort Logan.
I don't think it's Fort Logan. That one's far. It's here in the metro. I can't remember the name of it 100%.
Like a south? Is it south?
A little bit south.
Yeah. Okay.
It could be Logan. I should have a better memory, but I don't.
All right.
Having his funeral there was really cool.
Oh, really?
Because they're all like that perfect marble. Every headstone's the same, perfectly in line.
Yeah.
And everything they do there, like when a veteran has a funeral there, they treat it with so much respect. It was cool. But then we've gone back a couple times. We went, I think it was on Memorial Day, and just kind of drove it. Dude.
What?
Powerful. Like the amount of families and everything that's going on. You're like, ooh, like that. Like tingly feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
But as far as like cemeteries go, that's probably the coolest.
The coolest when I was in 8th grade, we took a school trip and we seen the big one, Arlington National.
Yeah.
That one was cool.
I can't imagine.
That one was, and then we got to see that Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers. Like all that stuff that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I would see that.
Yeah. I like going to old cemeteries.
Yeah. Have you been? Oh, there's Kay Miller and I went in Lafayette or Louisville. There's a vampire buried up there in the cemetery. And right out.
How do you, what, it says vampire?
Well, no.
Well, I'm just.
There's a neon light.
I'm trying to get a visual here.
We just started researching crazy things, and weird stuff to go see.
Yeah.
And one thing was a vampire that was buried in the cemetery in Lafayette. Or Louisville, I can't remember. It's the same fucking town. How do you know?
Same town.
They're like one town. Anyway, so there's a picture of the grave, and so we went to the cemetery and found it. And right out of the center of the grave, there's a tree growing. And they're saying, of course, the lore is that's like that tree spawned from the wooden stake that they drove through the vampire's heart.
Really?
Yeah, it grows right.
And
out
how
of
long? How like
A lot. It's old.
like 1500s, like 1600s?
No, dude.
Like,
This is Colorado.
well, I don't know. I'm not,
There was no 1500s in the Colorado.
we don't know.
Um,
If there's dinosaurs, there's got to be people here in 1500.
not vampires.
Okay,
They didn't make it from Transylvania
in enough time.
in enough time to get
Okay.
here.
All right.
Probably 1800s.
Which is not that long ago. If you
No.
think about it, it's
Early
actually
1800s is not even.
It's not that long ago.
200 years.
Yeah,
1825 was 200 years ago.
yeah. So it's not actually that. It is for a long time, but it's not. That.
I mean, that's like how long I'm going to live.
whoa, that long?
Like 200.
Oh, good luck.
200.
That's good. Yeah.
I'll-
have you seen those?
I'll see enough stuff.
Have you seen those pages that the guy or girl will go up to old grave markers, or whatever, and they're dirty, so they
Clean them?
Yeah, and then they tell the story on them.
Yeah.
I like watching.
Do you think
those.
they know the story? Or do you think he makes up a story?
I
don't wanna know because it'll be a letdown.
Don't make. I'm gonna say they're real stories because
Yeah.
I like it.
I saw one recently where they go to clean the tombstones
Mhm.
and like the guy cleans a tombstone, but they're also like ghost hunters.
Mm.
So like trying to talk to the guy
Oh.
and they have like the radio and the static thing that if it, I'm like, dude,
Just leave them alone.
just don't. If you're going to clean it, just
Just
go
clean it and
yeah.
yeah, or tell a story about it. Like, oh, they had this family.
Yeah,
they had,
research
you know.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just tell me the story. Yeah.
It doesn't.
I told you we did a ghost tour at the Lumber Baron Mansion and stayed there all night.
How was it? Nothing.
There's probably some stuff there.
Could you feel it?
Kristen felt it a lot more than I did,
Oh,
but it was tingly a little bit.
yeah.
I would have stayed the night and slept there.
I mean, I don't. That stuff doesn't. I like knowing, and like, it doesn't scare me.
Mm-hmm.
But like when we stayed in L.A. when one of the fights at the old downtown hotel where the Black Dahlia was last seen.
Oh yeah.
You could tell there was something in there. I could just feel like I didn't see anything personally, but you could just I'm like something's in
Yeah.
here.
Well, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
So if you like that kind of stuff, look, it's in Denver. It's called the Lumber Baron Mansion,
Mm-hmm.
and a guy I used to know owned it.
That's in the north side, right?
Yeah, north side.
Yeah.
And like he kept a very, very, very good history.
Oh.
You know, there were a couple of young teenage girls, possible prostitutes, that got killed in one of the rooms, and
Yeah.
you know, there's a couple things like weird deaths that happened.
Yeah.
And they would allow ghost hunters to come in.
Really?
Yeah. So we went with the guy that was a ghost hunter, and he brought all the equipment, and, you know, kind of, he knew the story of the place, and it was cool. I mean, it's one of those things where if you hype yourself up to go to something like that, you expect to see something. So everything is perceived as being something,
Yeah.
you know?
I don't know if I
But
would.
there was some cool, it was cool. And I could feel like there was a little electricity in the air.
Do you think they want to communicate with you, or do you think they just communicate with you because they're like, get out of my space?
I think there would be, if they are communicating, I think it's one or the other. Like some things are communicating and they actually want interaction. Maybe they're bored. They've been there a while.
Mm.
And I think the things that don't want you there, like do things to make you leave.
Like throw shit? Like,
Something.
yeah.
They're not like, let's play the flashlight game. They're like, let's play drop the axe. You know, if you're at a place
Yeah.
and they drop, if the axe falls off the wall right next to your head, you're like, probably time to.
Let's wrap it up.
We're probably got to get out of here.
Yeah.
But if it's just like bleak, bleak,
That's-
bleak, you're like bleak, bleak, and it's like bleak, bleak.
And you just
You're
start.
just like, I'm gonna hang out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to get killed by ghosts either.
I don't. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Leave me be. I'll
Getting
leave
killed
you.
by demons. If you can take anything from like horror movies, that looks like the most miserable death.
Yeah. If
Like,
they
they-
can make you
They
suffer.
like grab and like
They just make you suffer.
pull you apart.
Mm-mm.
There hasn't been a good horror, like just horror movie in a long time.
Do you think it's because that's.
It's been done.
Well, no. I feel with technology, it's just a little over the top.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? Like the technology is just like,
This will roll us into one of my topics.
Okay.
Perfectly.
all right.
I think older scary movies have always been better because they were designed to allow your imagination create
Yeah.
the scariness.
Yeah.
Newer scary movies don't leave room for imagination because everyone's just a bunch of brain dead fucking feed me digital content like zombies.
There's no like imagination.
So they have to make it's just so like easy to anticipate, see it coming.
Yeah.
I like a scary movie where you don't even ever really see the ghost or the thing.
What was the last movie, like scary movie that you're like, man, this was a good one?
Man, I don't. There was crap there. I have two examples. One of them I'm trying to remember the name of. The only reason I know about it is because way back in the day when I was doing regular radio stuff, I used to do a lot of interviews for Allied Media.
Yeah.
The people they used to have me do interviews with either the director or the star or someone from the movie before or after a screening.
Yeah.
So I'd be able to sit with them. And there's a movie, and it's based on a short. And it's about a mirror. But the short from the original, freaky.
Really?
Freaky. And then they made it into a full-length movie based on that story. And it was
Okay.
It was decent.
Yeah.
But if you go back, Kay Miller, do you remember what that movie was? She'll probably tell us. She can tell us.
Okay.
But that was cool.
Yeah.
The one before that is a movie that probably nobody saw. And it was when I was, I want to say, early 20s. So like before half of these people were born.
Yeah.
There was a movie called Brain Scan. And Edward Furlong was in it. Edward Furlong was the kid in Terminator. Like, come with me if you want to survive.
Yeah.
And he puts him on the motorcycle, that kid.
Okay.
But it was a movie. It had to be after I was 20. Because it was basically augmented reality video game. Before there were augmented reality video games. But basically you put the game in the control or into the console and you wore these goggles and it would turn your life into the video game, which is kind of like augmented reality now. Cause like I have the guns where I can like move around my house and shoot and look like a weirdo. But come to find out like what they were doing in the headset was they were really doing it in real life. So they would go and hurt people and so yeah, so it was just weird. Like when you put the headset on, if that movie could get remade, like with some modern technology,
would it be good?
I remember it was cool, but even at the time, I was like, it could use just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So now I think if they remade that movie with people's understanding of augmented reality now, I think they could really do something cool. But they could also fuck it up real bad.
Yeah, because, man, technology's too good for...
Yeah.
It's becoming way too much.
What about you? Scary movie? It's been a long time, huh?
I don't watch any... I'm not really into the scary movie thing. I think honestly, I just watched the same, like, as everybody else, like the whole Jason or the...
Yeah, there's no scare to those.
Like, I'm just not, like, I'm okay with it being scary, but when it's, like, over the top, trying to be scary, it's like, well, that's not even real.
I remember another movie when I was a kid. I went to the movie theater. It was called Mausoleum.
Was it scary?
And people went and snuck into a mausoleum in a cemetery, you know, the building where they have... And there's like this silver ball that would follow them around and then kill them.
I'm not going to. No, I would never go into somewhere.
Would you stay the night in a mausoleum?
No.
No?
No.
Too many opportunities?
There's just too much going on. And if somebody's in there and they're resting. Like just leave them. I'm just leave them be.
Just rest.
Like, you're you know, no, like.
All right, we'll let this let this wander us into one thing I've been noticing a lot is, and maybe it's because of my age, and because I'm still kind of young in how I look at certain things, but I'm older and have been around, and I'm like,
for sure.
It seems like right now there's a huge battle between how things used to be and how they are now, and which one is better. Because everyone, like when you talk to older people, like our parents, everything was better than what we have now, like quality, or even just, you know, all the way around. It was better.
Well, I always feel quality wise, yes, it was better.
And when I think about it, I think of food for one.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, food was better, which is weird because food should be always getting better. But the quality of food
is not better. No.
I mean, you could go get a steak, and a steak is still a steak is still a steak.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if you look at like convenience store food or fast food,
it's not. It's horrible now.
Yeah.
You know, compared
just looking at it now,
I just think the quality of things was just better.
And the quality of,
you know,
building, like materials and things that you bought were built to last for like 20
a long time,
years.
Not for 5 years and then you buy a new one.
Or less. Yeah. Now things are built with the understanding that it's built to break.
Yeah. It's built to break, to update you.
And nothing, how is it cheaper to buy a new one of everything?
That's crazy.
Is that not weird?
So
like before,
weird.
Our parents, our grandparents, if it broke, they fixed it.
Yeah. Or you bought a used one that wasn't like,
and you got the parts and married them together and fixed what you had. Now everything, you just buy a new one.
But I also think it's like a popular thing to talk about because
I just got smelling salts.
Again?
Oh, it was on my finger and I rubbed my eye and my nose.
How does it feel?
Oh,
feels great?
Yes.
All right.
Go on.
I think that a lot of people like talk about how it used to be, and obviously the newer generation wants to know about it,
but a lot of them don't.
Sometimes they want to like,
they're like, oh, boomer this.
Well, yeah, but then you see them wearing like the old t-shirts.
Yeah. Everything vintage is cool to them.
Yeah.
Except for talking to people from the era.
Yeah. Or even just talking to your friends. You just got to you
just
text them.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
I look at things like craftsmanship.
Oh, that's gone downhill.
I saw a video recently, and it's an older video of a guy that was building like custom furniture. And I was looking at it because this guy builds custom furniture that has like hidey holes in it for like pews or things like that, but builds it old world style. So everything is like hand carved. You know, he doesn't go out and buy crown molding and put that on the, he like
molds it himself.
Yeah. He made everything, hand carved the corners.
Yeah.
Did all this stuff. And of course, you know, it's like a $3,000 piece. I can go buy the same, not the same piece for like $250 that's factory made.
Yeah.
But if you stack them next to each other, you would never want the $250 one in your life.
No, because you could feel the difference.
If you look at like next to, you're like,
yeah. But that's where we forget. Like nobody wants. We're just trained to find what's the best deal.
Right.
Right. Well, we've been trained over the years. What's the best?
What's the best deal? Who can make it cheaper?
And we want it now.
Right.
We don't want to wait. That guy.
I don't want to wait 3 months for him to build my piece of furniture.
Because it might not take him 3 months, but there's that many that he's got to do.
Right.
You know, and we want it now. We don't want to wait.
But people are so willing to just give up any quality too. Just quality is meh.
Yeah.
On everything. Everything breaks. Everything is really kind of garbage.
It is.
Name one thing you have that's just like high quality.
Man, I would have to think about it.
It's hard.
Honestly.
It's hard.
Yeah. I'd have to think about it.
I mean, you wouldn't think maybe technology stuff.
But that's so good. I feel like the technology stuff goes way
But
out.
then it's gone. You know, how fast before it's completely obsolete?
About 3 months.
Yeah.
If you wait
like
till
my phone. I like my phone.
Yeah.
I think it's it's a good phone.
Mm-hmm.
But it is so obsolete. Like this is a 13.
Yeah, I got a 13 also.
This is the 13 whatever. I don't know, Pro or Max or something. Big, I don't know.
Yeah.
Even now, between the 13 and the 16 are two different phones.
Yeah.
This is the phone.
Well, that's why who said it? Like,
But the camera,
supposedly better.
I mean, I think you can see the difference in some things.
Yeah.
If you're a videophile, like if you're looking
that's
at things.
true. But is it worth it though?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you know what's weird is iPhone cameras are kind of garbage.
yeah.
Like I'm not an Android guy.
They got better.
I'm not the Samsung guy, but they got a camera on those phones.
Yeah. Why isn't Apple?
I don't know. And because they're making like motion pictures on phones right now. There's a couple companies that are filming
just
full
phones?
length feature films on a phone, like gimbals, lighting, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. But their main source of filming is a phone.
Is phones. And they're iPhones. And
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
I would like to see them film the same thing.
In an Android?
Yeah, next to each other. And you'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
But we film a bunch of stuff on the phone.
Yeah, we do.
Speaking of which, someone was supposed to vlog their trip.
I know.
How'd it go?
We're still vlogging.
Yeah. The vlog is slow to get started.
Yeah.
When are you going to get it started?
I don't know. I got to figure out how.
No vlog.
No. I got pictures. I got a video of us, a selfie of us.
On a wagon.
Me carrying, because got JJ a brand new pair of shoes. They were nice.
And
they are nice. They
took
are
her to
nice.
dusty roads.
At muddy, dusty roads.
She's like, I ain't walking.
Well, no. Well, she did walk most of the way, but there was a place where it was muddy. So I carried her uphill, and she was breathing hard. She was on my back, and she was breathing hard. And I said, "Why are you breathing hard?"
She was holding on.
I guess
She was holding on.
but I need to get better at that vlogging.
Yeah.
I need to. Yeah.
I do too, dude. I'm terrible.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You need to get out.
Dude, I've been out.
No,
I've been
you
out a
haven't.
lot.
No, you haven't.
I've been going to the gym every day.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh,
I've been going to the gym. I mowed the lawn.
Oh, wow.
We've been out.
Okay.
Like, I guarantee my runtime on Life 360 of being home is minimal.
I doubt it.
72 hours is probably the most.
That you've been gone?
No, home. Like without leaving the house.
Oh, without. Okay. All right.
Probably we've been out. I've been doing some stuff.
Okay.
But we need to vlog more.
We do.
And that's, you know what the weird thing is? And I know people do it. I watch them do it. They vlog themselves all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, we need a person just to have the gimbal.
Yeah. Here, film this.
Just come along.
Then you film.
I just need, here, I'll put my mic on.
Just. Yeah.
How do people do it? Like
I should have Delilah do it.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have next time I go somewhere. Oh, we did go to this. We were late, and it sucked because I would have really liked it. So it starts over there May 1st, farmers market.
Ooh.
No, this is a real deal. It was like 6 blocks.
Yeah.
They shut the whole thing down.
Midwest farmers market's like no joke.
I was like, oh, what do we got? Nothing. That's farmers market. Here's a joke.
It's just 12 Karens making candles.
Yeah. No, this one had, and we got there. Well, we got there late, but we didn't. They said it started from noon to 3. Well, it was over at noon.
Right.
I was like, so we're late or what? But we still walked through. Some people were packing stuff
Still
up
just getting done.
just to get, just to check it out. But it was actually pretty. I was like, oh, this is.
Dude, we go
impressive.
out and do some things here and there, and the fact that we don't just
Vlog it
is
dumb.
we only have all the equipment in the world to do it.
No, you got 2 of them.
I don't know why we don't. We need to be better at it.
I think I'm gonna have Delilah do it because I feel like I would do a better job if somebody just filmed me instead of me being like. Because
Well,
then you don't.
and a lot of the time, what you do is you have a camera person that's with you,
Yeah.
and you just have them like every 15 or 20 minutes, just prompt a question. Even if it's just you're still driving across the country.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, what are we doing? And then hit record, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, we're still driving. We're in
Such and such.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just passed this. We just did that. So if you get prompt questions, it's easy.
Easy.
When you're
Well-
just trying to figure out,
How?
yeah, the people that can vlog their daily, like day to day, everyday life, and like they'll film the whole thing with some voice in it, but then they'll just go back and voice over most of it and talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, those people are,
Ambitious.
yeah.
We need to get that. We need to get there.
I don't know how you do it. Oh, I've been fighting in the podcast Facebook group again.
With who? I see you posted. You posted. So when I see your Facebook, because you don't post like you don't ever really share stuff, and you don't ever post like you know what I mean? Like,
Everything's with intention.
yeah. So like I scroll and then I see
Mhm.
a question, and then like yesterday you posted something about politics or whatever. I'm like, who's he fighting with now?
And the thing is, usually I'm not. But like, there's a couple people in this Facebook podcast group
Yeah.
that are just so like they are old guys, like make me look young.
Oh,
But they were like audio engineers before, and they started a podcast, and it's the podcast. You guys need to understand what podcasting is. It's audio only. Do you understand podcast? It was built for, being listened to as, but then they always want to argue, and they try to say things like, it was intended for your AirPods, and I'm like, no, actually, sir, it was intended. The term came from a show listened to on an iPod. A podcast.
Oh, yeah, because there was no AirPods.
I need to know when the last time that guy uploaded and listened to something on his iPod. So if your whole thing is it's only a podcast if it's done audio only,
Mm-hmm.
because the original word came from this, and so if that's the Bible, if we're dealing with the Bible here in podcasting, if you're not uploading and listening to it on an iPod, you're also not podcasting.
Yeah.
Because they're always like, if it's a video, it's not a podcast. If you upload a video on YouTube, it's not a podcast. It's a this or that. I'm like, what is it? What is it?
Well, to me, it's just a podcast.
Right.
Like,
That's what it is.
why does it have to? Why does it?
Why do
only
they have to?
be,
Yeah. Why do they have to argue?
Why does it only have to be audio?
I'm gonna put a clip. I'm gonna send Kay Miller a screenshot of. I was petty.
The on the post.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was petty, and I got to get better at that, dude. I don't need to be that person, but sometimes I do.
But don't you just feel
Sometimes
like
I do need to be that person.
I haven't done that in a long time, but I used to tell Jay, I feel like fighting with somebody on
Online.
online. Yeah.
Here, let me see. Hang on.
Oh,
I'll let you read it. Real
all
quick.
right.
See if I can find it still.
Let me see.
You can paraphrase real quick. but-
Okay, the first one here.
Yeah, there's the post, and then that long comment is.
Well, this is where he would have got irritated. I would have been like, I'm an old school purist.
Oh, wait till you see my response. So the guy basically says, I'm an old school purist, and a podcast is audio. It was built for blah, 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 blah. And I think he said AirPods.
Get off my lawn.
So what's my response to him, or my reply to him immediately was, quote, I'm an old school purist,
Yeah.
quote, is equal to get off my lawn, you damn kids. And then a couple people joined in. And if you look, there's a guy named Matt right below that.
Yeah.
His back and forth with me, he gets it. And he cracked me up. Do you see some of what's going on there?
Yeah. Everyone stole the term, all of us. Like what? You think those guys just get irritated?
The best part of it was, like that Matt guy, he said, such a dumb argument. Call them whenever you want. It changes nothing, which is the truth. I don't care what you call anything.
No.
My response, the original guy that was like, I'm a purist, his name is Bill.
Oh, yeah.
So Matt says, such a dumb argument. Call them whatever you want. It changes nothing. I said, can't do that. Bill said, we're not allowed.
We're not allowed.
And he said, I have no clue who Bill is or why I should care. And I said, dude, Bill would be very angry with this. And he said, TJ, I can live with that. I shall dine tonight on the tears of his rage. And I said, well, dinner better be served by 4:30 because you know Bill can't eat late. It hurts his tummy. Bill never said another thing.
You think he felt stupid or you think he didn't want to argue?
I think he felt like I'm right.
Oh, yeah. I'm not listening to these
and these stupid kids
they don't know.
Yeah.
I went to school for this.
I'm an audio engineer.
Whatever.
That means he probably worked sound at a shitty fucking dive bar in a town on the way to fucking Des Moines.
With 4 people.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of city and town, I was going to send you a thing, but I forgot. And I was like, if I had $2 million, I'd buy it. It's a city in Montana or town, whatever. You get a post office and you get whatever. Mm-hmm. Then I'd run my city how I want.
You'd be the mayor?
Yeah, everything. Mayor. Yeah.
Chief of police?
Mm-hmm.
Fire chief?
Fire chief.
Code enforcement?
Yep. All of it.
Can I have a job?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Whatever.
Yeah. I seen that and I was like, man, they're lucky.
I've seen a couple places like that where you could buy a town or you can buy, you know what I've always wanted to do? It sounds weird.
Uh-huh.
I want to buy an old school and turn it into a house.
That would be cool.
Or
but not like a big school, but just like
a decent sized school that has like a gymnasium and a cafeteria and like a couple hallways of classrooms, maybe 2 stories, no more than that. But how cool would it be to buy an old school like that? And because they're big enough that you're not right on top of each other, remodel it into like Delilah could have her own apartment kind of down this way on the hall. You take this side, you know, your older daughter comes, you know, she can have this
almost
space.
Like a compound.
But in a school.
In a school.
And it has a gymnasium so you can play basketball inside if you want.
Get a cheap school?
People do it.
Yeah, but
people buy them.
How much do you think it would cost to
renovate?
Like,
here's the thing.
I guess depending on how cheap the school is, right?
Here's the thing. We could probably find one for a decent price.
Yeah.
Is it somewhere we'd be willing to live?
Well, depends on what we're doing.
Tulsa?
I wouldn't.
The murder capital of America.
But if we're by ourselves, if
you putting a barbed wire fence around the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying we could find one. It's probably just not
in the ideal spot of town.
Or in an ideal town or an ideal state. Like we could probably find one.
What would be an ideal state for you?
It's kind of, I don't know, because I want to be, I don't want to do snow.
Okay.
But I also don't want Arizona hot.
No.
Like if it was perfect, it would be San Diego.
Okay, because it's not
for climate,
but
not for politics. Like climate-wise, San Diego is exactly where I would live.
But not.
No, but you have to take San Diego and put it somewhere that's not a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
So something like that, where it's even, you know, like Nashville, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I do Tennessee.
Yeah, that's nice. Nashville's
North Carolina.
North Carolina was nice. I drove through there. It was nice.
I would even do parts of Georgia.
Ooh, I don't know.
Georgia's nice, big. I mean, like Savannah.
No,
not
a good experience in Savannah.
Oh, did you get racialed?
I don't think this is going to sound weird. So they're used to seeing, I think, interracial couples.
Black and white.
Yeah, I don't think they're used to seeing a Mexican and a white.
You were their first Mexican?
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
They were like, shit, man, he's taking another one with him.
Yeah, that was for sure.
Bring us back that white woman.
Because it was it was just
and mow my lawn.
All you hear is it's nice, but when we went through there, it was just weird.
See that,
man.
and that's obviously my blind spot. Is I don't think about racial things.
Yeah,
like I just don't in my mind. They don't exist.
Yeah.
So it's so weird because, again, I've never had to deal with racism. Why? Because I'm fucking transparent, white. But I'm also like I don't do racism. Like it's not a thought in my head. Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
yeah, me either.
You know me. Like I love everybody. Unless you're an asshole, then you're just a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So when things like that come up, it kind of like hurts my heart a little bit because I don't ever have to think about that stuff. But then when I was like Savannah and you were like, "Ooh," and I was like, "What do you mean Savannah's beautiful?" And then in my mind I went,
"Yeah,
oh, someone probably fucking looked sideways."
But it was weird. We went into this coffee shop that was cool, good coffee, but I was just like, "That's weird," because I'm like, why are you looking at us like this? I don't really care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I am. Like, I don't care who you're like, who you're with.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care. It because it doesn't affect me. So why would I care?
Yeah.
You know? And when I would like look, I'm like, and Jay's like, this feels weird. How I said, yeah, I said, but I think it's because they're not used to seeing a Mexican and a white. That's what I'm coming down to. I said,
it might not even be that. They're probably okay with interracial marriages at that point. They just don't get many Mexicans that way.
That's what I feel like. That was, you know what?
Not ones that walk in to like have coffee and sit down.
Well, that was my first ever like real experience with people like acting weird. Like, and I'm like, oh, this is what people feel like. You know, whether you're on one side, you know, black, you're white, you're whatever. I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like. Okay, I get it. Because when we went to Singapore, like, I didn't get that feeling, but like there were some Asian people we would walk by with velour bangs, and they would turn their backs or they would move, and I'm just like,
the two safest people to be around anywhere.
Like, why? Like
two of the kindest human beings.
They're so nice. Like, you know, it was weird.
Yeah, dude, I'm so colorblind to that shit. Like I
can't.
It irritates me that like when you said that at first, I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Savannah was beautiful. And you're like, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was. Oh. I mean, it was nice, but we walked through the park. It was cool. Like,
so we could do like Texas.
We could probably do Texas. Yeah.
They have a lot.
Yeah.
They have like, you have cousins.
A few probably.
There. Yeah. They're not shocked.
No.
They're like, oh.
Yeah.
Where else? We can't, because we're not going to like Arkansas.
No.
Kentucky. Questionable.
I would have to build a fence.
I think we're going to have to go to Tennessee.
Yeah. That wouldn't be bad.
Dude, Kristen's brother lived in Chattanooga for a long time. We went out there.
Nice.
I love that.
Really?
Yeah. We were out there for Christmas, like the week before Christmas. And they had a big Christmas parade in Chattanooga where they live.
Yeah.
I was in a hoodie and shorts.
Really?
Yeah. They were in like winter gear.
Yeah.
But it was like 65.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you think your body would get used to that? Like where you would need a coat? Like you would need to bundle up?
Have you met me? Here?
Yeah.
When I got back from Florida?
Yeah.
And it was cold?
Yeah. And you're like, shit, it's freezing.
I was like, this is the coldest thing I've ever done. And I know that it wasn't because the sun was out and it was 50 degrees. And before that would have been like
fine
out and about. But this year I was like, God, I'm going to die.
I'm going to freeze to death.
Yeah. I only have a couple little things. I don't know that we need to do
in 7 hours.
Too much. Yeah. Do you think in the creator space, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, Instagram, is there a place for people who are just really authentic?
There should be a place.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's one because to be authentic is not cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like for viewership, like for personal stuff, like it is cool to be authentic. Those people are, you know, the nice thing about being authentic, your circle comes pretty small after a while, which is nice. But
I think authentic people also have the ability to through their authenticity or their energy, they attract more good people to be around them.
Yeah.
But in the influencer space or and YouTube or this, it's almost like if someone is authentic, they almost get pushed to the side or ridiculed or.
Because everybody has to be funny or
everything has to be
over the top. Or you have to, or like because I couldn't turn my phone on and be like, and you be something. It's like, I gotta be, I gotta be excited.
You have to tell me. You got to tell me when you're going to record.
Yeah. And it's like, rather than just recording, and guess what?
Yeah.
It's the same as it was when you told me.
Right.
It's just, but it just sucks that that's what.
And part of the reason I came up with that question or that thought, and I've been talking about it for a long time, and other people talk about it. It's not like I have these like super profound thoughts that no one else has
thought about.
Yeah. Being authentic means being vulnerable.
A lot more than normal.
In that, I've been talking to Kristen's brother a lot about it recently, and other people just here and there. It's so in fashion to everything has to be negative. You have to have an opinion, and it has to be, oh, this sucks, that sucks, this sucks. Go on social media and find a guy for me who is just happy to share things, like just happy to be there and share things. The comments are either non-existent or they're like derogatory.
Yeah.
And then find me a guy that everything he talks about is, oh, well, that's shit. Oh, well, that's terrible. Oh, and it's 150 comments and 300 interactions.
But there's no positive.
But why? Because you know where I'm at? I'm at a weird station in life, which I hope and I wish that other people would get to at some point. I would much rather someone share the story about something that makes them happy.
I think because
I want to see that. Like, I don't care how simple it is. Like, I just got this today and it's really awesome. It's my, whatever. And I really,
because it's not,
it just makes me happy to have this around me.
We live in such a world that everything you do has to be liked.
But now the only way to be liked is to
be fake,
out negative something.
And that's not,
If one person's negative, like if someone posts something negative, go look at the comments. They just out negative each other. Oh yeah, well, you should see this. Oh, you think that's bad? Well, you should see this. Life would be so much more enjoyable if people just outjoyed each other.
Yeah, but that's not good. I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying. But it's just not. That's the way that everybody has to one up each other, or everybody has to have that opinion. Like it's like,
and it has to be a negative one too.
Yeah, and it's like your opinion doesn't matter. I'm just sharing a thought.
It has to be the only way things happen on social media is if you are one of the just right out of the box negatives about it. Oh, I lost a thought for a second. Oh, or if it's positive, people don't do actual positive. It has to be braggadocious.
Yeah.
It can't be.
It's not positive.
Right. It can't be like, wow, dude, I woke up and walked outside and it was just as like the fog was lifting and the sun came out and it was just fucking beautiful. And I, like walking out of my house, I think that's one of the coolest things that I get to see.
Yeah.
It can't be that because that's just like, wow, that's cool, dude. That's pretty awesome. And if a picture accompanied it, even better. People have to be, it has to be like, so I woke up this morning and in my brand new frappe machine, I made, a blah, blah, blah. And then here's my new $50 mug that I'm drinking it in. And I'm going to get into my brand new Mercedes Benz and we're going to drive down the coast and see,
Oh,
it's just bragging. It can't just be like, hey guys, I had a great day, man. I got up and I got to spend time with my family, and we went for a car ride and had lunch at one of our favorite places.
Yeah.
And just, we had good conversation. And then on the way home, it really hit me that, I have gratitude towards that.
Yeah.
Same activity.
But I don't even know that you could have went in a van.
Same activity.
Yeah. But
why does one have to be this? I have one
like
of these and I have a this.
Those are the people that are unhappy too. Like they're like, if because the older you get, the easier it is to do. But I feel like the younger you are, as far as an adult, not a kid or teenager, but as far as being a young adult is like really being honest with yourself.
Right.
And being honest about like what you're like.
I think people are afraid to like things until they're told it's okay to like them.
Yeah, exactly.
By society.
Yeah, because it's like what you like is I'm not gonna like the same things.
Because
like you like the games and you like the
right.
You know what I mean? It's cool.
You're like, that's cool.
I like it. But
you like hearing me talk about it because it brings me joy, not because you care about the video game.
Yeah, that's.
You're like, oh, that's like you're really excited about that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Versus,
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I love the fact that it really makes you happy.
Yeah, and it's to me that those opinions of people are they don't know how to have happiness like that. I think because they're afraid of that's.
If it's not braggadocious, then they're afraid people will judge it.
And it's stupid. Like it's not, well, it could be stupid to whoever, but if you like it, say it.
But which of those stories actually is probably going to incite joy in another person?
Well, if it's me,
I hear it, the one with no details.
None. That you went with coffee with your family and you guys didn't do nothing, but it was a great time. Oh, okay, well. That's better than
we're so blessed that we live near the water and we're able to have coffee at a place where I looked out.
Yeah, because if I know you, I probably know you have a Mercedes. You ain't got to tell me you have a Mercedes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's so
like if you told me you have a nice coffee machine, that's probably because I talked to you about coffee. You don't have to tell me you went and bought a $2,000.
Right. It's something we share is our love for coffee.
I just don't I don't care. Like I like my coffee too.
Yeah.
It
tastes the same.
It tastes to me. Yeah.
I like whatever.
I thought my lattes taste good till I broke my latte machine.
Oh,
I only thought they tasted good though because I didn't have to go nowhere and buy it.
It was just you and some effort. I frothed some milk
all day. Like I was looking for.
I have a $12 milk frother right in there. It's like it looks like a little teapot.
Oh, see,
and you put the milk in and it has a little spinner on the bottom. It's $12.
Yeah,
you make hot chocolate in it. It's fucking amazing. $12.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, man, I don't know. I find now
if you have to have
less
more
than
and bigger brand name,
nah,
to prove that you're happy, you're probably not happy.
No, I feel like there are things that are important to have a brand name, like a decent camera or a decent computer,
right.
or
well, it's one thing if it's what you do, it's your thing, whether it's your hobby or your occupation or something you're building. You need to have the right tools for the job, or if it's a car that that you've wanted your whole life and you saved and you did and you finally got that car.
Yep.
And you love that car, and I get to drive this car. Not, I bought this car because I know this is what everyone else will think is the cool thing.
Cool, yeah.
This is the car that says I made it. Dude, I drive a Ford Edge.
I would drive my truck, my 2005.
Yeah.
Some people are like, "You have a truck?" Because I don't drive. I drive it more now,
right?
But
you guys always go everywhere together.
Yeah.
So.
They're like, "You have a truck? What do you have?" Oh, that's. And I say, "Oh, it's a truck. It's 20 years old." They're like, "What?" I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna get it? No.
Well, because the thing is,
no.
Is it new? What do you got that's new? Do you have the new truck? You have $100,000?
No, I can't.
Yukon Denali.
Yeah, no.
Blah, blah,
to
blah.
me, like, if I had the money and I could, okay. But it's like, with that money right now, no, I don't want to spend that money.
Right. If I wake up with $100 million,
Yeah, then
I'll probably buy
Sure.
$100,000 car.
Sure.
Why? Because
I'd be lying if I said no.
it's silly to say, "Oh, I would." Well, what I would do is,
Yeah.
I would pay the minimum on all my bills, and then I would feed the homeless. Okay, that would sound great.
Yeah.
Now, would I be charitable? Yes.
Yeah.
Would I help people? Yes. Would I buy $100,000 car? Fucking probably yes.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
not for the same braggadocious.
No. And no.
That part makes me crazy about people.
It's weird
It really does. Like, can you just have joy? Can you just have some joy?
for people. And it's hard to find, man.
Or just peel your life back to something that actually makes you happy
But why is it that
and just be happy with it.
do you feel like people are afraid of the change they'll have to face if they really like me, right?
Mhm.
In you're playing the video games, I'm like, I'm gonna try it.
Right.
Right? Oh, this is great. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, what if I actually like that and everybody else think it's dumb?
Right.
Like, but
Well, and that's the thing.
just go do it still.
Because you can even watch it with little kids. Okay, you can have little kids
Yeah.
who have no outside influence,
Mm-hmm.
and they can love to do something.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. The most fun you've ever seen them have in their whole entire life.
Yeah.
And they get a little bit older, and they still like doing it, but they don't have like this weird outside influence. And then the day comes when friends come over, or friends come to the house or leave the house, or whatever.
Yeah.
And they take the kid to go show them their thing that they think is, and their friend goes, "Oh, that's stupid. That's what babies do," or guess what just happened? You just annihilated the joy that person feels for that one thing. And I think a lot of people learn from a young age to not talk about the things that bring them joy, so that they don't get made fun of.
Yep. And that's to
Dude,
me.
I've turned into like this weird, like Sissy Sally cake baker, because I'm all about things that bring me joy,
Me too.
and I'm about sharing them.
Yeah. Like I don't care if you think it's dumb. I don't, and I'm gonna keep doing it. That's
Yeah.
just how.
Dude, I love sharing. Like, dude, my bidet, it's $50, dude. It's not something that should bring you joy,
But it might.
But here's the thing: it was $50.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're spending thousands of
Yeah.
dollars.
You didn't go build a new one.
No,
Like,
it's $50. It took me
Yeah.
15 minutes to install, and I fucking it's a like
is
that
it
thing.
Wait, is it noticeable?
What do you mean?
Like if you open the toilet, can you see? Because I should install one on a secret.
Oh, it doesn't work on.
Oh, it does. Oh, you have to turn it on.
Yes,
Oh,
you have to
all right,
operate
all
it.
right.
You have to operate it. You don't just like.
Sit down and it starts washing you.
How's it going to know when you're done pooping?
I don't know.
How's it going to know when you're done pooping?
Hey.
Last thing I want is half poop coming out, and the bidet decides it's going to sandblast me. So now it's just shooting half-strung poop turds all over.
Oh gosh.
No, you control it.
Okay.
You control. I'll show it to you upstairs.
Never mind.
Yeah, you control it. But I mean, simple things like that.
Yeah.
But how easy would it be to do, like, find that, install it, and it'd be the coolest. And you're like, this is so awesome. And then someone comes over to have dinner, and you're like, dude, you got to check this thing out. And they're like, oh, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
What are you going to do now? Oh, I'm never telling anybody about that again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. Like, anything I like, I'm just going to keep over here because
over,
people just make fun of it. If everybody just didn't care anymore and just tell people what they like.
And keep it. Don't stop doing it or telling people because it's not popular. They think it's stupid. Who cares?
And the thing is, like, we made fun of the guy the other day for putting on his racing shoes at the go-kart track.
Yo.
But how do we know that's not?
I mean,
How do we know
true.
that's not the thing that makes that guy happier than anything in the world? And just being
It had to because
he got to that level where, like, maybe they all wear race shoes at that level, and we're the assholes going, look at that dude putting fucking racing shoes on at the go-kart track.
I hope he's still wearing them too. Then
right, but that's the thing. Like, in his world,
yeah,
maybe go-kart racing is it.
Yeah.
And him and all of his buddies are fully invested in the best of everything they can get to go-kart racing.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, I'm very guilty of hyper fixating on something and then buying all the shit and going and doing it.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? Yeah.
But we were just dicks. I mean, we weren't because no one knew.
Yeah.
It wasn't outward.
We weren't telling him.
It was mostly just here.
Yeah.
Um,
And whoever's watching.
right. But I mean, we kind of poo-pooed someone's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that's not cool either. See, we're guilty of it too.
Right.
Everybody's guilty of it.
I'm trying to be more aware of
I
it.
think we just need to do a better job of not being judgmental in those ways.
And you know, this week I'm going to try hard.
To do what?
And I've done it some. But when someone posts something that you can just see that they're just happy,
Just like it.
I'm going to like it. Or I'm going to say, wow, dude, I'm so happy that brings you.
I like a lot of things. Oh, well, I shouldn't say a lot of things. I shouldn't say I like a lot of things. I'm not afraid to like a story. I'm not afraid to comment on a story if I see something like that.
Mhm.
Like, and people think I'm weird. Like,
I do it all the time.
He's like, why? I said, isn't that what social media is for?
Well, those buttons are on the bottom for a reason.
Like
If you put something up and I can see it's something that you were like really were happy to accomplish, or it was really exciting for you to get to do, dude, I'm sharing with you.
Mhm.
I'm here. Yes, dude.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, it's
I
fine.
love it. I'm not worried about you having more fun than me.
Yeah.
I love that you
On the other
got to
hand,
do that.
If you're always bragging, like I don't like any of your shit. I don't even watch your shit. I don't.
I'll freeze people out.
I don't, man.
I'll freeze people out.
Like mute them,
No.
like unfollow them, or what? Or what do you
Some people I'll just completely
just?
unfollow,
Yeah.
unfriend. I don't have space.
Yeah,
And they're not going to change my mind, and I'm not going to change their mind.
Yeah, so it's like
And so all it's going to do is
yeah,
it brings less joy to my life.
Yeah,
So I'm
they're-
like, ugh.
yeah. There's people that
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some train wrecks that I keep on my friends list because sometimes it's fun to watch a train wreck.
yeah. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I'm just watching.
I'm not wishing for their downfall, but I mean, some people, they buy bigger shovels every month
Jeez.
and they just keep going.
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm going to try really hard to really focus on giving to things that are authentically happy.
Yeah.
If someone's, I don't care what it is. I'm just going to like people's, I'm going to comment on people's shit.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, wow, that's fucking awesome. That's so cool that you get to do that.
Yeah. That's what it's for.
What does it cost?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing.
We can all do it.
Yeah.
And you know where a big piece of this stems from? And I'll tell you.
Uh-oh.
So yesterday, it might have been yesterday, Kay Miller and I and one of her friends were standing right out here outside of the studio.
Yeah.
And we got trapped in a fucking negative do loop. And we were just bitching about something.
Probably not even that important, right?
Probably for 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Just negative.
Yeah.
Just negative. And then Gracie walked up.
Mhm.
And she was going to tell us about something like watching another train, her own train. And immediately we were like, why are you interacting with that? It's just bringing you more negativity and you don't need to do it. And I saw it visually hurt her feelings because she was sitting right there while we for 30 minutes
was complaining
and being negative and consuming ourselves in negativity. And what she was bringing to us was definitely less negative than anything we were talking about. Like what she was talking about was probably an upgrade, but we like cut her off at the knees.
Yeah.
And I watched it hurt her feelings. And then like 30 seconds, she walked away and she was sitting on the other side of the room. And I knew that she was upset. And I thought about it for a second. And I was like, you know what, guys? I was like, Gracie, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We handled that completely wrong. We just sat over here and did the thing.
Yeah.
And then when you came over to show us something, you need to not be doing that. That's negative, and you're just breeding negativity and blah, blah, blah. And I just felt like the biggest asshole because I watched myself be something that I hate.
And then like instantly say, don't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a tough one because I knew that it hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was no, like, I was not right in any way in the way that it was handled.
Yeah.
It wasn't right.
Yeah.
It wasn't the one. Like, it was terrible.
But yeah.
And it reminded me, what the fuck was I doing in that negative space?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to preach positive, like be positive, don't surround yourself with negativity. What the fuck was I doing in that space?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it at all.
Don't do it.
Or try not to do it.
Do it less.
Yeah. Yeah. Do it less.
Do it less.
And you'll feel better. You will feel better.
I'll leave you with a possible question or a topic for Saturday.
Okay.
And just kind of keep it in the back of your mind and look out for it.
I'm going to write it down right here.
Do you feel, don't answer.
Okay.
Do you feel like there are any like real public hubs left? And by public hubs, I mean like places in a community where people gather. Places where, I'll give examples. Like the barbershop growing up, or, you know, back in the day, the barbershop was like the guy hub.
So like, and we're saying public hubs where you're like, you can go in and there's no judgment, or like you just go be yourself, or what?
I'm saying, I can't say there's no judgment because
I guess there's judgment anywhere.
Barbershops back in the days where you just went to go just roast your friends.
Yeah. Okay.
And sit in there and
All
just
right.
have at it. But it was a community place. It was, by public hub, I mean a place of community.
Oh, yeah.
Where you go and you gather, you know, it's not like at 3:00 we're all meeting, but like those places, you know, if you went to the barbershop, you knew people were going to be there, you know, just roasting each other, having a good time.
It didn't matter who was there. You just knew people were going to be there.
Right.
Okay.
And you could just talk about whatever.
I'm gonna think about that.
But I mean, it was like that when we were growing up too. It was like, where was the place that you went and checked for bikes? You know, the schoolyard right over there. You know, if you leave your house on your bike, you drive by there and you're like, oh, there's bikes there. We're going to go. They're all there. That was like community. We all met at the swing set at the school and just sat around and talked and did, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having a hard time finding or understanding places of community now.
That's, man.
So Saturday.
Okay, Saturday. I'm going to think about this Saturday.
Weird question, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird. Where are they there? They may be. Maybe we'll put it up on.
Maybe we're closed off.
Let's put it on our socials.
Okay, I want to put. What do you want me to do? Put it on my story, or do you want me to?
Either way.
You know what? Maybe I'll put it on my story and do one of those.
Poll.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah. I'm just curious. I just want to know.
I want to know too. No.
All right. You got anything else?
No. No.
God bless Corey Sandhagen. Guy's an animal.
He's so good, man. I knew. You know what's crazy is like you never really know about the fight, but the way he was looking the whole camp, like even the days that he had that were rough in like sparring, because we watch like his wrestling because that's done there, but like anything else he does striking wise is with Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
But in sparring, he's over there with us, and like. Even the days that didn't look good, he was still
better.
You could still see and at the end, like it was to the point where at his last sparring session, I'm going to say this, I don't even know if I should, but it was like he did like 2 rounds and then
good.
It was good. And then they had him do some conditioning.
They were just like, we're good. We're there.
We're
there.
Yeah, he was, and
I'd much rather see someone cut off the last day of hard.
I feel, man, he's a nice guy and like, I feel bad for him because I feel like there's certain movements within fighting with the guys that they don't want to give him that shot.
He doesn't get the look.
I don't know.
He doesn't fit the mold.
I really hope that I shouldn't say I hope because I should, negative, you know. But I kind of hope that I would like to see O'Malley win that fight.
And Corey just piece up
And
O'Malley.
then because I feel like that would be an exciting.
Do you think Corey's a fight away or his next fight?
I think it should. Honestly, I think
he should be his next fight. I think, in my opinion,
I think if Merab wins, I think for sure it's Corey's.
Right.
If Merab loses, like it should still be Corey's turn.
It's Corey's turn.
It should still be his turn, but
Merab might get an instant rematch.
Yeah,
because that's the thing to do.
That's the thing to do now. So. I really
Can
hope
anybody else just tell Peter Yan to just go fight the rest of the didn't quite make it?
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, you're not.
He runs his mouth a lot.
Yeah, and it's just like, shut up, you know.
Corey's hot. Right
he
now.
is, man. He's
got a hot hand. He's moving.
He's good. That kid's so good, man.
I think he doesn't get the shine also because, like JJ, they're not self promoters.
No,
they just show up and fight.
No. Well, he said
he's getting better.
Well, he said something interesting. This was a few years ago, and I think he said it in an interview. Then he just kind of just remembered it and says it every now and then to people. Like he's like, some people put their eggs in the be good basket, and then they'll put a little bit in the I'm going to talk a lot and talk shit in the basket. He's like, I'm just going to put all my eggs I'm going to just be good.
I'm just going to try to be good.
And that's where all my eggs are. And
my energy is in being good.
The way that he said that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. But.
So many people get wrapped up in wasting prime energy on having to be the loudmouth.
Yeah. Or having to be seen.
Or having to just constantly make the statement that's.
Yeah.
Is going to get picked up by the news source. Or whatever.
Man, I get happy when I see the people that I like, win, and selfishly, I was excited for Corey. Don't get me wrong. But when I see like Banks or I see like the coaches win, like it makes me happy for them because I know how much of it goes into it for them as much as the fighter. So
Banks always comes off so stoic.
Oh, yeah. Nothing gets him excited.
But then the camera will flash every once in a while, right? When someone wins,
and he gets
and you see it, and you're like,
"Yeah, he's pretty."
Was there a chip in the granite right there?
Yeah, he's pretty. He tries to be very like you know what I mean. Like he doesn't
stoic,
stoic.
Like never.
Yeah,
everything is just fine.
Yeah, like everything is just fine. That's why I like with him and Valor and me, like everything is fine. Me, I just sometimes just talking shit and, and then Valor, if you need to pump me up, then hey, Valor.
Valor's your guy.
You know what I mean? So it works really well. So I was just happy for them. He looked good.
Banks is like, you're lucky you got your shoes tied today.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, let's work. We're going to be okay. We're going to work. And Valor's like, you're the greatest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. So.
I saw Carson posting some post-surgery stuff.
Yeah, she had to get her.
Somebody,
man, I feel.
Go get her and make sure she's doing her range of motion workouts.
Well, I need to because I'm gonna have to talk to her because I felt bad for her. This one was.
Ooh, that's a bad.
This one was a freak accident. Like I'm not saying the other ones weren't an accident. But there are some things that she does sometimes that's like, Carson, why did you were training. Why did you fight it that hard?
Tap.
You know what I mean? Like when she hurt her, she blew her elbow out. And it's a drill. And she fights that hard. That you know what I mean? Like this was a drill.
Right.
This one, she threw just like a left
hook. Set up to lose.
She threw a left hook that she always throws, barely jammed it, and
snap.
Yeah, I felt bad. I felt bad for
her.
Well,
the surgery she just had is very similar, almost identical to the surgery I had.
Yeah.
And
so
just get everybody to just harp on her to do the range of motion exercises from now.
Yeah.
Because if she doesn't just get on the range of motion right now, that's where this injury and the healing is really hard.
I'm gonna
like to this day, look, dude, like this arm.
Oh.
My shoulder doesn't.
Throwing a curveball.
Yeah, it won't. It doesn't go.
Okay.
Because I didn't
Didn't do it
I
right.
didn't do it right.
Yeah. I'm going to get on her about that. Yeah, but man, I'm hoping she heals up because I feel she's worked hard, but
Yeah,
I just feel bad for
she
so
keeps
many
losing the
people, like,
slipper on the way to the dance.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, like it's like sad when like you see fighters that have potential to, I'm not saying be champion,
But be good.
but be good and get to where I think that they should be able to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like constantly like,
Boom.
yeah, because it's
Same
one of those
thing
things
with
where it's like,
poor fucking Steph Skinner.
yeah.
Did you hear how bad hers is?
Oh, she got hurt again? Oh, I didn't.
Blew her ACL apart again.
Like, same leg?
Same leg. But she had to have surgery,
Mm-hmm.
but only half of the surgery. They had to do a surgery to set her up to be able to do the ACL surgery.
It was that bad? What was it in fighting or was it in?
I think it was football. I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, she had a freak accident, blew her ACL apart before, repaired it, took a long road back because that's.
Well, she was one that she actually did all the PT, like.
Yeah, she's very like she's someone that will do.
Yeah, she
like if you wrote down the directions for PT, she would.
Yeah, she does follow them good. That's a bummer.
Just to see that happen. I mean, you don't ever want to see someone.
It's pretty bad if you got to do a surgery to set you up for the surgery.
Right.
What is that like? What does that look like?
Well, it's because the old ACL repair, they had to graft some things to be able to put it.
Well, there's one. So when Claire got hers, Claire blew her knee out in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And she had asked me, hey, have you ever had anybody that done that? And because I guess there's two different ways that they can repair it, right? I said, the only person I've ever known is
Cadaver
Steph.
graft.
Yeah. Is Stephanie. I said, she goes, oh, I know her. I said, I would reach out. If you have questions, I said, I don't know anybody else. But when she was talking to her surgeon, one of those ways, the girls, some women somehow don't, like, it doesn't heal the best. Like it's don't
not
know.
The same.
I just don't know which one.
Right.
But something along the lines like it doesn't. The women's body takes better to this one versus this one,
right.
or vice versa.
However,
yeah.
But just the fact that you had to have two surgeries, you have to have a surgery, heal,
and then have another one.
rehab, and then have another surgery.
Damn, is she gonna be able to run after that?
She's hard headed. She'll rehab that mother.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's going to come back strong from that, someone like Steph Skinner will. I just feel bad because man, she just wanted to get to the next level on some, and she put so much heart into it.
And that's what's a bummer.
And she weighs 12 pounds, so it's
it's sad when you like see like any kind of athlete, like it's just not in the cards.
You're just not going to get there.
No. And
not because you're not good enough. No, not because you don't work hard enough.
No, it's just it's just,
The universe just goes,
no.
Sorry.
No, and it's a bummer. You know, but it's to me, it's just a sad thing to see. Like, I always tell people, like, I just want to see you get a shot, whatever that looks like. Like,
whatever the shot is.
Yeah, whatever that
if it's just
is,
a pro fight.
Then,
if it's just whatever.
Then I just want to see you get one shot.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
A couple of things before we stop.
All right.
We're terrible at this and we got to get better. Click that join button.
Please.
Click the join button right there. Right down there.
Yeah. Subscribe.
And if you want to know why, I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
Because before or after, our members are with us.
Yeah.
So they get to watch us kind of get started. We do Q&A afterwards. Plus, every episode we've ever recorded is available in the member section, completely unedited.
So you can go back and watch it.
You can watch everything.
Yeah.
You can see what we clipped out. We just put up Mary V. Hill's episode.
Yeah.
Great episode. Amazing episode. But there's 30 more minutes that's on the members live.
At least.
That never...
It never made it, huh?
Well, because just to get it to a digestible number.
Yeah.
Kay Miller clipped a lot out. And I'm like, that's fine. Because members can go, like, for $1.99 a month, you can go watch all of it. And you can see 30, 40
Yeah.
extra minutes of that
And it's
episode.
$1.99.
And there's a ton of episodes that are cut shorter,
Yeah.
just for editing
A
purposes.
lot of, yeah.
And the banter that we have before or after an episode, sometimes it's some of the best
Sometimes,
parts.
yeah.
But that's in the member section. So $1.99, do that. Click that join button. At minimum, if you're listening, if you're seeing this and you're not a subscriber, at least click the subscriber button and then turn on alerts.
Yeah. So you know when we got something going on.
And then you can watch at your leisure, but we do premieres of every episode.
Yeah, and then we're gonna release our Trevor Mike Does thing. So
Yes, those are up there.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a bad one.
and I don't want to talk about it. We're gonna be positive. We're gonna be positive right now.
Yeah. But anyway, join, or subscribe. You know, wherever you're at in life. If $1.99 is just not, it's not in the cards. It's not in the cards.
Subscribe.
We'll still hang out and do things.
So otherwise,
WhatsApp is available.
you
It's
better
a
send us
link
some
in the
voice.
description. It's not it's about to go away. It's about to go away because no one will leave us a voice note. Chickens.
They're afraid.
Gallinas. Is that right?
Yeah.
Gallina. That's this kind of chicken, not like fried. Pollo is like the kind you eat, right? And gallina is the kind that walks around.
Yeah.
I've been doing some Rosetta
Okay.
Stone. Anything else we're supposed to talk about?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, go subscribe right now to Team Awesome Podcast Studio.
That's the new
There's
one.
some things coming.
Yeah, that's the new one.
We're going to have a bunch of new talent coming
So
on. Team
go
Awesome
subscribe
Podcast Studio.
hit the alert button.
Yep, do those things over there. There's no join there right now.
No, just that one's free.
just subscribe.
Yeah.
And trust me, we're going to put some cool stuff over there.
Yep. Check it out.
We have anything else that we're supposed to talk about every time? I probably have notes.
No, I don't have anything
I
to
have
talk
notes.
about.
Let's see. It's always at the top. Join us on WhatsApp.
Yep.
Oh, we have a Discord.
Oh yeah,
There's
that's
also
right.
a link in the description for our Discord. So we can do voice chats over there. We can do.
I need to get. You know what?
Matthew's setting up a members only voice chat for people that are members of the channel.
Oh, they're gonna be able.
They have their own little
to,
section.
I need to get on there.
Yeah, you got to get a
I
Discord.
need to help. I need
Yep,
help.
because we can start doing some polls over there too.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it.
All right.
Click the join button. Watch the episodes. Do we want to do a numbered question in the episode, or are we going to save it for members?
Let's do save it for members.
We're going to do save it for members. Look
Yeah,
at that.
yeah.
So we have this book. It's called 3,000 Questions About Me. And pretty much every episode, we allow people in the chat who happen to be members to select a number out of the book, and we answer the question.
Yep.
But you got to be a member to hear this. Got to give them certain things. Do not eat the smelly salts. All right. So with that, I'm out.
We will see you
Saturday. We're out.